Hey, what's up guys? Matt here once again, and today we're doing part 3 in the video series, Gina stretching her ears. She's been at 10 gauge. I think we bumped her up to 10 gauge a little over a month ago, and today we're gonna be taking her to 8 gauge, all right? So, well, let me rephrase that. Hopefully we're gonna be taking her up to 8 gauge. She should be good to go, but if we see any signs of resistance, we're not gonna do it, and we're gonna make her wait a little longer. But I'm pretty confident she's gonna be good to go, and we should be able to get those 8 gauges in there, no problem. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring Gina in here right now, and let's get started. All right guys, so we brought Gina in here, and like I previously said, she's at 10 gauge, we're bumping her up to 8 gauge now. Looking at her ears, you know, everything looks good, everything looks perfect. We can give it a quick little test here and see if we can pull that flare through. And if I kind of just gently pull on it, it's a little tight, so it's not going all the way through, which means we'll probably have to use a little taper on this side. Let's see this side over here. Once again, it's a little tight, but this side's going through. So that side should be a little bit easier for her. But you know, always with stretching ears, you're always gonna have one side that's looser, one side that's tighter. That's just the name of the game, that's just normal, okay? So now we know that this side is definitely ready for the stretch, and we know this side's a little bit tighter. Sorry. We know this side's a little bit tighter, but it has been the right amount of time. So it's been a little over a month, almost a month and a half. So because of that factor right there, I know I can safely stretch her to an 8 gauge, even though this side's a little bit tighter. So with that being said, we're gonna sit her down and we're gonna make this happen. So guys, so what I have here, let's give you a quick explanation, is I have a little packet here called a freehand pack, and within this package it has some gauze and some Q-tips. And all that's gonna mostly be is just in case I need to clean up any lube or anything left over afterwards. I've already put a little bit of water-based lube right here. There's a package from it, kind of leaked out a little bit. And then from there I have us an 8 gauge taper, all right? And hopefully we're not gonna need that taper, but we might, you know, but I have it just in case. And then, of course, we have the single flared plugs right there. For this one, I think for all the videos, we've just been using a pair of single flared stainless steel eyelets. Those should work great for the stretching we're trying to do right now. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and remove this jewelry right here. Then I'm gonna take some lube, I'm gonna set it on the back of my glove. Now I have that lube ready. We're gonna grab a single flare plug, get it nice and lubed up, and we're gonna see if this jewelry slides in on its own first. And nope, it's not really going in on its own. We don't wanna force anything. So that's where we're gonna go ahead and grab our taper. So I'm gonna lube this up really, really well. I'm gonna take my jewelry, I'm gonna butt it up to the back of the taper, and we're gonna set it inside of her ear. So right here, I'm just gonna ask Gina to take a really big deep breath in for me, and exhale. On that exhale, I'm gonna slide it through in one solid motion as quickly as possible. Once we have that, just gonna take a little piece of gauze, and we're gonna clean up all this lube off her ear. Don't be afraid to be a little overboard with the lube. All that's gonna do is make it slide in that much easier. More lube, the better. General rule of life right there. All right, so the next thing and the last thing for this side, we're gonna take our little O-ring, and just gonna pop it on the back. And there we have it. Got that side up to 8 gauge. Now let's move on to the next side. All right, so here we are on the second side. I'm gonna do the exact same thing we did on the first side. We take our single flare plug here. I'm gonna lube it up really nice here so it's nice and slippery. And we're gonna check and see if this plug will go in on its own. Just gonna give lightly a little tiny bit of pressure here. And there it is. Popped in really easy. We're not gonna have to use a taper on this side. I didn't use any force, I just gently pushed it in, it slid in on its own, which is exactly what you want. No resistance whatsoever. And now we're just gonna go ahead and put the little O-ring on the back here. And then we'll just kinda like wipe her down, get all that lube off her ear. And there it is. She's now safely at an 8 gauge. So you guys, there you have it. We've now taken Gina from a 10 gauge to an 8 gauge. And in a month and a half, we're gonna try and repeat this process and get her up to a 6 gauge. And at this rate, I believe her desired size is a 0 gauge. That's our end goal. And at this rate, we're looking at, you know, somewhere around the first of the year, maybe in February, somewhere in that ballpark of actually achieving that goal, which is gonna go by really quick. But we're not trying to make anything happen quick. We're just trying to do everything safely and make sure that we keep her earlobes as healthy as possible, and get up to that 0 gauge when her ears are ready for it. Which, you know, like I said before, I think first of the year, February, we're gonna hit that goal. So thank you guys so much for watching once again, and hopefully we'll see you guys for part 4 of the video series in about a month and a half.